My quiet backyard turned into a war zone one afternoon. I'd spent 3 years building my koi pond at Maple Ridge, a peaceful spot with fancy fish worth hundreds each. It was my happy place after a rough divorce. But that day, everything flipped. I was at work when my neighbor Tom called, sounding freaked out. "Get home quick. Something's wrong with your yard." His voice shook, and my gut told me this was bad. I sped home, tires squealing into my driveway. A concrete mixer truck with bright stone builders painted on it peeled out as I jumped from my car. "Hey, what's going on?" I yelled. But the driver wouldn't look at me, just gunned down our sleepy street. I bolted through my side gate and stopped dead. My sparkling pond was gone. In its place, a flat, wet slab of gray concrete. My knees gave out. Colorful fish scales poked out like little graves. My Japanese koi, dead under the mess. The water lilies I'd bathed from bulbs, smashed flat. I tried to stop them, Tom said, popping up beside me. They had papers, said it was HOA orders. I couldn't talk. That pond was my morning ritual. Coffee on the deck, watching orange and white fish swim in clear water. Now it was a tomb. Who did this? I finally croaked. "Linda Carter," Tom spat. She stood there with a clipboard, calling the shots. Linda, our Maple Ridge HOA president. The lady who'd fine you if your mailbox tilted an inch. I grabbed my phone and dialed her. She picked up fast, like she'd been waiting. "This isn't how you handle HOA stuff," she snapped before I could speak. "You poured concrete in my pond." I yelled, voice breaking. "My fish are dead." She didn't flinch. "Your unapproved water thing broke Rule 37B. The board voted to fix it." "Fix it? You killed them. No one told me." I shouted. "We sent a letter 2 weeks ago." She said, "Cool as ice. You didn't answer, so we moved ahead." I never got a letter. I said, try and steady myself. "This is illegal. You can't wreck my stuff." She laughed. "Check your HOA rules, paragraph 12. We can fix violations and you pay for it. Bill's coming soon." Then she hung up. I stood there, staring at my ruined pond, Tom's hand on my shoulder. "She's been picking on everyone who fights her," he said. "Last month, she tore down the Miller kids' basketball hoop while they were out. I wasn't letting this slide." I spotted a Brightstone Builders card stuck in the wet concrete, grabbed it, and saw a handwritten number. "I'm getting cameras tomorrow." I told Tom, this isn't over. That night, I found a weird survey stake in my yard, fresh, with Linda's initials. I yanked it out, mad as hell. Next day, I dug into her game, found fake HOA maps shrinking my land, and caught her cozying up with a Brightstone guy, her brother-in-law, Pete. They'd used HOA cash to ruin me. I hit back hard with proof, got her busted for stealing, and watched the cops haul her off. My pond back now, fish swimming, and Linda's out, lesson learned. Below is a rewritten version of the content based on the provided outline from Section 2, due trial by the NGO, of the transcript. HOA Karen dumped concrete in my fish pond. I've kept the meaning, context, and storyline intact, adjusted the language to level 4, simplified and natural, changed the character names, and ensured it's written in standard American English. I've added a clear, engaging ending to make the story cohesive and exciting, while marking changes in bold for easy comparison. The narrative flows smoothly and remains captivating. My pond was gone, buried under concrete, and I wasn't letting it go. I started digging for answers at Maple Ridge. First clue? A Brightstone Builders card stuck in the wet slab, with a scribbled phone number. Then I spotted a fresh survey stake in my yard, stamped with Linda Carter's initials, Elsie. It wasn't there the day before. That night, my phone buzzed, a text from a random number. "Check your mailbox." Inside, I found a fat envelope with property surveys for every house on our street. A sticky note said, "Not all match county records." I spread them out on my kitchen table, laptop open to the county website. The HOA's map of my land was off. My yard shrank by 5 feet compared to the real deal. Half my pond was on their land, according to their fake lines. I checked other surveys. 6 more homes, All folks who'd argued with Linda at meetings had the same trick pulled. Something stunk. As I puzzled out, headlights flashed across my window. Across the street, a bright stone pickup rolled into Linda's driveway. Not her usual shiny SUV. A guy hopped out, hugged her, and they went inside, laughing with wine glasses through her open curtains. I grabbed my phone and zoomed in. That's when I saw it. The same concrete mixer that trashed my pond, parked in her garage. Next to it, bags of cement labeled Oakwood Center. Stuff our HOA fees were supposed to pay for. My blood boiled. Was she stealing supplies meant for our community fixes? I snapped pictures, then spotted cash on her table. Big stacks. My hands shook as I called Tom. "You won't believe this," I said. He showed up fast with a USB from his daughter, who worked at the bank. "She saw weird stuff in the HOA accounts," he whispered. I plugged it in. Money flowed from our HOA to Brightstone, then right to L. Carter Consulting, Linda's side gig. Over a year, Brightstone got paid for 17 emergencies, all signed off by her alone. "That's her brother-in-law, Pete," Tom said, pointing at the guy in my photos. "He runs Brightstone." It clicked. She was pocketing our cash. My doorbell rang again. Tom handed me more. "They're planning something big." Across the street, Linda and Pete pored over papers, grinning. I wasn't waiting around. I dug deeper, found she'd bought a fancy Florida house. Cash, $980,000. No way on her salary. With Tom's help, we tracked every dime. Next day, I caught her taking a fat envelope from Pete at a parking lot, my camera clicking. We had her cold. Stealing, faking maps, all of it. At the HOA meeting, I laid it out. Photos, bank records, the works. Neighbors flipped out, cops came, and Linda got hauled off for fraud. My pond's back now, fish swimming, and she's done, caught by her own dirty game. Below is a rewritten version of the content based on provided outline from Section 3. Doi dal ban dalva mu tra dua of the transcript. HOA Karen dumped concrete in my fish pond. I've kept the meaning, context, and storyline intact, adjusted the language to level 4, simplified and natural, changed the character names, and ensured it's written in standard American English. I've added a clear, engaging ending to make the story cohesive and exciting, while marking changes in bold for easy comparison. The narrative flows smoothly and remains captivating. I wasn't letting Karen Rogers get away with wrecking my pond at Willow Creek. It was time to face her head on. At the monthly HOA meeting, the room buzzed with tension. Karen sat up front, all smug with her pearl necklace, shuffling papers like she owned the place. I took a seat right where she'd see me, staring her down. She glanced my way, then quickly looked away. "First up, property violations," she said, clicking to a slideshow. My yard popped up, a dead patch of grass circled in red. "Fined $100 a day. Till it's fixed," she announced, flat as a board. I shot my hand up. "That brown spot showed up yesterday. Someone messed with my lawn. I've got camera footage being checked." A total bluff. My cameras weren't up yet. But her face twitched. She ignored me, moving on. The meeting dragged with boring stuff, budgets, events, until new business. I stood again. "I've got a plan for a new pond," I said, walking up with papers. "It fits the rules, and here's the real county survey. Seems there's mix-up with my landlines." Karen's face went pale as she peeked at the official map, showing my yard 5 feet bigger than her fake one. "This needs board review," she stammered. "Sure," I grinned. "I made copies for everyone. Check the differences." The other board folks leaned in, frowning at the papers. Karen snapped, "Meeting's too long, next month." But Paul yelled from the back, "Rules say we got time for this." Her knuckles went white on her gavel. "Fine, it's denied. Looks bad," she barked. "How's it bad?" I pushed. "We don't have to explain," she shot back. Mrs. Lee jumped in. "Rules say you do. My son's a lawyer." The crowd buzzed, and Karen's power started to crack. She huddled with Dan, her brother-in-law, after, whispering fast. They froze when they saw me watching. Outside, a guy in a suit, Greg Tanner, came up. Nice show, he said, shaking my hand. I'm with Willow Properties. Built this place. Those surveys? I'd like a look. Karen swooped in, fake smiling. Greg, just a mix-up, nothing big. He stayed cool. I'll decide that. We don't mess around. Paul whispered, he's her boss. Things might heat up. Next morning, I woke to a nightmare. Construction markers all over my yard and a fake "Digging Tomorrow" notice from Starlight Builders. I called the city, no real work planned. I emailed Greg the pics, and he shut it down fast, promising cops if they tried. That night, Mrs. Lee's son Ryan rang my bell with an injunction blocking Karen and Starlight. Then an email hit. Secret file showing Karen taking cash from HOA deals. Lights went out. Footsteps thumped outside. I grabbed my stuff and ran with Ryan. We exposed her at the next meeting with bank records and photos. Cops hauled her off for fraud. My pawn's back, and Karen's done, caught in her own trap. Things with Karen Rogers at Willow Creek got wild fast. I wasn't backing down after she trashed my pond, so I started digging deeper. One rainy morning, I staked out a strip mall and caught her meeting a Starlight Builders guy, Dan, her brother-in-law. Through my windshield, I snapped pics as he handed her a thick envelope, followed by a quick hug. Gotcha, I muttered, ducking when she glanced around. I texted Paul, called her with cash, bringing proof now. At his place, we spread out HOA bank records. Look, I said, pointing, $15,000 a month to Starlight for fixes, but our streets look the same. Paul, a numbers whiz, adjusted his glasses. Should be $5,000 tops. They're overcharging big time. I pulled up Starlight's info, owned by Dan. Then we found cash bouncing to offshore accounts and a $980,000 Florida house Karen bought. All cash. No way she's got that kind of money, Paul said. Elliot, neighbor, dropped by with food and gassed at my photos. She fined me $500 for tall bushes, then pushed Starlight to fix for $1,200. We had her nailed, stealing and scamming us blind. That night, 20 of us met in Paul's garage, rain pounding outside. I showed the pics and papers. She's putting my house up for sale. Claims I owe $48,000 in fake fines. I said. Tom piped up, she smashed my mailbox, fined me $750. Everyone had a story. Busted hoops, chopped trees. We signed petition to boot her, needing 40% of the neighborhood. This is fraud, Ellie said, flipping through bylaws. We got enough to kick her out. Thunder rumbled as we planned. File tomorrow, lock her out of cash. But Karen struck first. Paul's daughter Mia burst in, soaked. A bulldozer's at your place. Karen's there with papers. My stomach dropped. We raced out into the storm. Phones ready. My yard was a mess. A bulldozer aimed at my big maple tree. Karen barking orders in the rain. Stop. I yelled, neighbors behind me. She waved a fake notice. Your tree's a hazard. HOA says it goes. Mrs. Lee stepped up, fierce. That's a heritage tree, needs permits. A cop nearby asked, got those permits? Karen froze, stammering. Then it went nuts. The Starlight mixer, still running from earlier, spilled concrete down her driveway in the rain, straight into her garage. Her shiny SUV sank in gray sludge. No, she screeched, slipping as she tried to stop it. We watched, stunned as karma hit hard. Next day, I took our proof to the cops. Pics, bank stuff, all of it. They raided her place, found more dirt, and locked her up for theft. The bulldozer left, my tree stayed, and we rebuilt my pond. Bigger, better. Karen's gone and we're free. Justice rolling like that concrete. After Karen Rogers drowned my pond in concrete at Willow Creek, justice finally caught up. The next morning, news vans swarmed our street. Tom had tipped off his sister at the TV station. Reporters shoved mics in my face. What happened? One asked. Cameras on Karen's garage, where SUV sat stuck in hardened concrete. She killed my fish pond, I said, and I found out she's been stealing from us. By noon, the story blew up. Neighbors like Mrs. Lee showed off dumb fines for chimes. Ellie shared rec garden pics, and Paul explained the shady Starlight Builders cash grabs. Karen hid, sending her lawyer out, but it made her look worse. That night, cops rolled in with warrants. Our evidence hit big. They dug into her past, found she'd ripped off 2 other neighborhoods, totaling $500,000. Her computer had emails bullying board members into backing her. Some spilled it all under pressure. The county lawyer called me. "Your proof was gold," she said. "We got her on felonies." Days later, Karen, Dan, her brother-in-law, and 2 board pals got cuffed. Starlight's licenses got yanked, and Dan sang to cut a deal. We threw an emergency meeting in the park. Over 100 folks came, chairs and snacks in tow. "New board time," Paul said. "People who care about us." They pushed me for treasurer. Me! I laughed. "You fought when no one else did," Tom said. I took it. First move approving my pond redo. Done right this time. 6 weeks later, neighbors pitched in Ellie's husband sketch plans. Tom's boys dug. Mrs. Lee planted flowers. By dusk, we had a bigger, better pond base. Everyone cheered, then left me grinning at it. A car pulled up. Lisa, Karen's daughter, stepped out nervous. "I saved these," she said, handing me a cooler. Inside, 3 koi from my old pond, alive. "Hid them in my tub. I'm sorry for her," she mumbled. I nodded, stunned, as she drove off. Paul helped me set up a tank for them. Days later, our newsletter announced a picnic by my new pond, the heart of monthly hangouts now. Karen's house went up for sale, her busted SUV towed away. Watching my rescued fish swim with new ones neighbors gave, I saw it. Losing my pond built us stronger. Karen's locked up, and Willow Creek's ours again, solid as concrete.